can see like the benefit of your effort in showing up. So with that said, as we're getting ready for Virgo and this shift in solar cycles, I want us to kind of like purge and kind of like reset, recenter. We're in a kind of a new moon, dark moon phase. So the energy is a little bit lower sometimes. And it's like seed time to kind of like work with what do we want to have as our intention, kind of what's kind of digesting, nourishing ourselves. So I want you to kind of think of this being like a total body reset, to kind of reset out anything from the last cycle that we want to kind of close out, let go, and kind of just think about being like a little tune-up for your body. So that's what we're going to work on today. So find a comfortable place to sit and welcome yourself into your practice. So deep breath in and out. Welcome, welcome to your mat. Thank you for your efforts to come and practice yoga. I'm really grateful that you're here. So start with whatever spray is calling to you. Sattva is a good one. Any type of grounding spray would be good. You each will be getting the spray of the month coming up. I know some of you are I'm going to be delivering them in the next couple days. So you'll be getting that. But for now, just any kind of grounding spray. I didn't even get one for myself out, so I'm going to do that. It's nice when you have your own little cabinet here of stuff. Horse Walk's another good one that you could use. So give yourself a spritz to ground and recenter. And close your eyes and breathe. Turn your senses inward. So maybe switching off from being with people or being with family or being with work to being with yourself in community. So feel that shift and that separation where this practice can be a chance for you to work on you, to be really in close touch in relationship with yourself. So let's start with the breath just being this indicator of how we're doing. So just noticing your initial breath, how deep it is, how full it is. Noticing if it's easier to inhale or it's easier to exhale. Do you feel that you need one or the other more today? So just tuning in, checking in. We're going to start with a little bit of internal heat building and kind of a releasing energy with the abdomen through breath of fire. So that's short, forceful exhales, and then the inhale just takes care of itself. So kind of think about this kind of massaging of the belly energy as you kind of bring that energy up and out. So kind of stoking the digestive fire, stoking the fire a little bit, just in light of kind of purification. So we're going to start with our hands down for now, and then we'll lift them up. So we're going to take about 20 pumps. So that can be fast or slow. You don't have to go at any certain rate, just whatever you can maintain. Okay, so remember it's short, forceful exhales. The inhales just take care of themselves. So exhale all the way out, and then begin. All the way out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take your arms out to the side and do another round of 20. All the way out. Bring the breath in, hold at the top. Let it go. Arms all the way up. Another round of 20. All the way out. Deep breath in, hold. all the way out. Release your hands all the way down. Now we're just going to even out the breath. If you can, 5 counts in and either 5 to 7 counts out. So as you breathe in, your arms are going to lift up and we'll count to 5. And then out. Maybe it's more than 5 on the exhale. Breathe all the way in. All the way out. Really try to lengthen your spine as you do this. Tuck your chin down so the back of the neck is long. Breathing in for 5. You're counting, so if your arms need to go slower, that's fine. Out for maybe 6 to 7. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. 3 more rounds, your own pacing. You can close your eyes if you want and feel that prana coming in. Letting any old prana release. And then again. And then all the way out. And then just join your hands at your heart space in an attempt to form your purpose or your intention for practicing today. So if there's anything you feel like you need that you want to intend to work with in the practice, or anything that you want to offer your efforts to, take a moment to make this practice meaningful for you. And after you've formed your intention, take a deep breath and breathe in. Touch your thumbs to your heart notch. And then send your intention out on your exhale through all the pores of your body. Yeah, nice. Go ahead and lie on your back. And we're going to do a little front shoulder opening, kind of shoulder mobility. So go ahead and bend your knees. And if you have your hair up and you need to kind of adjust your ponytail so that you have a long neck, go ahead and do that. I want you to imagine like you're making snow angels. So the thumbs can reach up, or the thumbs can reach out, but as you inhale, you're going to stretch your arms out to the side, and at the bottom of your, or the top of your inhale, turn the thumbs to face down, so palms face each other, and lengthen. And you're going to reverse that, come all the way back. So my thumbs can point up or they can point out, it doesn't matter. But as you're reaching out to the side, feel your arms stretch. You can be at whatever pace, and then turn your thumbs down. So the trick of this is to keep the back of the heart space nice and long and heavy so that you're not arching the back to do this. So it's okay if your hands don't touch the floor, if you have to kind of glide them up and off. But feel the scapula anchored down, heavy. And then feel the wrists and the palms kind of stretching out from the arm. Reaching, stretching. Just kind of giving some space to the front of the body. So we're going to touch on kind of all aspects of the body a little bit today. We will still focus on everything you guys were saying, but really giving a chance to kind of really rejuvenate, refresh, kind of allow ourselves to get our bodies ready for a new cycle. And then hold at the top this time, thumbs face down, really feel that stretch. Think about that kind of outside of your armpit, kind of rolling in towards your ears. Stretching, stretching, letting the neck relax. And then take your arms like a Y. So now your palms open, stretch out from thumb line to pinky line, and feel again that Y stretch. So feeling the shoulders kind of anchored down with that opening and stretch to the lats. Then take another pause with your arms just out to the side, thumbs up. And then arms all the way down your hips. And if you want to turn your palms to face down to get some contrast, go ahead and do that. And then take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. We'll do some bridge rolls to kind of start to tune into the low back. So as you exhale, press your tailbone kind of down and through so that your belly starts to feel engaged, and you're going to roll yourself up to the top of the shoulder. So not a back bend, just kind of a shoulder bridge. Inhale, then exhale, lift the heels and roll down, trying to touch every vertebra. Inhale, relax. You can do a little cow posture. And then exhale, feel the belly tighten, low back lengthens, roll all the way up. Nice and slow. Lift the heels, exhale. So a little bit of like a spinal massage. Inhale, exhale. If you want to add the arms, you certainly can. So as I lift, I can reach one or both arms out and get a nice little stretch, and then roll down. I'm doing one arm at a time. You can certainly do two. Go as slow as you need to. Take your time to really feel that spine articulate. Let's do two more. Big stretch. And then one more. And all the way up. Nice. Okay. So if you have a block, I'm going to let you grab a block. And if you don't have one, totally fine. We're going to put the block up on the medium setting. So the block's not as low as it could be, although it can be there if that's better for you on the medium setting. If you don't have a block, don't worry. You're going to rest the shoulder blades, the bottom tips, on the bottom of the block. Okay, and then your arms are going to come out to the elbows will come out. So I want you to think about opening the back and the front of the heart space here. So elbows will point in and we'll stretch the back of the neck, belly tones. And on the inhale, let your elbows open, let your chest lift. So a big stretch in the front of the chest. Exhale, back of the heart gets a little release. Inhale. So you can be doing this just flat on the mat. Won't be quite as intense, but you can still feel this work. But just visualize back of the heart. Inhale, front of the heart. Back of the heart, exhale. Front of the heart, inhale. Back of the heart, exhale. Front of the heart, inhale. Back of the heart, exhale. Front of the heart, open and hold. So make sure you have a nice firm grip on your head so that your head can relax. Feel a stretch from your chest all the way to your armpit chest to your elbow. And maybe I'm lying back further and maybe I'm just neutral. Really feel the breath on the block and in the back of the heart so you can feel the shoulder blades kind of fill up with air. As you breathe in and out, maybe there's a little bit of turning side to side if you want. And then last breath on your exhale, go ahead and round up and hold here. And I'm going to let the elbows kind of reach forward a bit so I really get the back of the neck stretched. So I can kind of feel that reach from the outer border of the shoulder. The block kind of just gives me a little bit of extra awareness where the shoulder blades meet the block. Breathe here, feel the back of the shoulders. And then using your hands, press up, remove the block, and come all the way back down. And just kind of feel the neutrality as we open front and back of the heart. Heart was our focus last month, big focus. So letting that heart inform the next cycle as well as we look for what will be worthy of our efforts, right? That's whatever's near and dear to our hearts that we're able to put our effort and attention towards that. So nice deep breath in and out. Go ahead and cross your right leg over your left like you're sitting cross-legged in a chair, and then bring the legs up towards you. Hold on to your shins or your ankles if you can reach them and go side to side. Feel a little stretch to the hips. Big breath in and out. You can make circles or just wiggle side to side. Then go ahead and take your arms out to the side. Move your hips over to the right a bit so that you can drop them towards the left. They can touch a block or just the floor. And now take your left arm to the side of your ribs, the side of the heart. And as you're twisting and opening through the right chest, also feel the opening through the right side of the heart. So if you could touch the heart, even though you can't, you're just touching your ribs. Feel the breath open. Kind of those intercostal muscles. Open up through your chest, feel heavy through your shoulders. And then one more big breath. And then go ahead and release your left arm. You can use it as kind of leverage to let your legs come up. And then come into a happy baby. So you can grab ankles if the grabbing onto the feet doesn't feel accessible. But widen through your arches. You can bend and straighten or rock. Feel the low back lengthen here. So as much as you can to feel that low back lengthen, even if your kind of low back is pulled off the mat, feel it lengthen as it lifts. Nice deep breath here. And then go ahead and place your feet flat. And then left leg crosses over your right, like you're sitting cross-legged in a chair, and then bring your legs towards you. And then again, I'm gonna rock side to side or make circles. And I'm grabbing onto the side of my shins. You can grab onto your ankles if you can reach them, but just don't stress the neck. So just keep the neck. I'm just kind of massaging the low back here, giving it a nice little massage. And then move your legs over to the left. I'll move over a little bit with my Sphinx here, and then drop your legs to the right. So again, I could put a block here, a bolster, anything that I have. And then my right hand's gonna come to the left side of my ribs. And as much as I can, I'm gonna try and feel the breath expanding through here. Imagine that my hands could even touch the side of the heart. So we have to kind of open the side of the body to get to the side of the heart. Just putting your breath there, your intention. Stretching through that left chest, lung, palm area. Okay, one more deep breath. Let your right arm go. Use it as leverage if you need to pick the legs up. And then this time it's Baddha Konasana in the air, so I grab onto the ankles, knees go wide with my arms. I kind of pry the legs open. Roll the ankles. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Then we're gonna do one of each. So as you place the left foot down, bring the right leg into half happy baby. And you can go side to side a bit. Sometimes that feels good to rock, bringing that knee down to the floor and then straightening it. You can do that for sure. Or find stillness. 5 deep breaths here. Nice deep breaths. And remember that mobility can be helpful if this feels really tight to you or it feels like inaccessible, then just move with it. Then either place both feet in Baddha Konasana or both legs in happy baby. Take a moment to find kind of that balance here, and then you'll let the other leg release down. So you have 5 breaths on this side. And remember, you can be mobile and moving and kind of easing in. It's another way to actively stretch, or you can be passive and just allow your body to settle. And then one more big breath. And then we'll go ahead and neutralize this by putting the legs up in tabletop. And once again, pressing onto the tops of the kneecaps, lifting the shins, and just feeling that length in the low back. So kind of pressing down, letting the knees draw just enough away to feel that lower part of your sacrum. kind of anchored here. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then we'll rock and roll ourselves up and come to all fours. And then just for a moment in all fours, if you want to do some hip swings or cat-cows or just kind of rolling around, just allowing yourself to move forward and back, all those good things that you might like. We'll meet in downward facing dog when you're ready. So this first flow, we'll work on opening up the front of the body. So I want you to take 5 deep breaths and intentionalize that with every posture that we're doing, we're kind of resetting the front of the body. So we're going to let the exhales carry out any kind of stuck energy, any tightness, tension in the front body. With every inhale, it's like we're sparkling it up with the fresh breath, right? So imagining like a clarifying effect. So nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. Okay, when you're ready, you're going to step your right leg forward between your hands and drop to your left knee. And then on the inhale, we'll stretch up in a low lunge. So allowing the belly to lift, the ribs can kind of lift up towards the heart, but letting that belly firm enough that we feel supported in the lumbar. So nice big breath here. Keep breathing. And then circling the arms to bind, we're gonna tuck the left toes under and we're gonna come into a warrior one. So I just kind of pop that heel down. I might need to reset. And then inhaling, opening up the chest. So it's okay if you don't want to clasp, you can grab a strap or just press your arms back. Take a really deep breath, opening through your chest. And exhale, humble bow, but keep your head relaxed, the chest open. So we're still kind of gonna want to open up that front body, but just doing it a little bit more, kind of bow version, a little bit less upright. Keep breathing. And then slowly coming up, pivoting to lift your back heel. Take your right arm up, release your clasp, and step into your right leg and hold on to your left foot. So you can go outer grip or you can go inner grip. If you'd like to go both hands to touch the foot, go ahead and do that. So either way, you can just hold the stretch. I can lengthen through my left thigh bone, belly tones, tailbone lengthens, and I can just keep it really simple. Or if I'd like to kick the foot into the hand, I can do that. If you have both hands on your foot, keep allowing from the pelvis that reach to the knee, that reach up from the chest. A little bit of inner thigh strength. Breath in and breath out. And you've got one more nice deep breath. And then you're going to choose either a high lunge with your hands at your waist, kind of elbows back, opening the chest more passively, so that kind of weight of the arms give you some groundedness with the elbows reaching back. If you want it to be a little bit more passive, go ahead and come down. Let your hips come down and forward, but let your chest lift. So that's your second option. So decide if you need to lower the energy a bit to feel more grounded, or if you'd like to lift the energy a bit more by staying in a high lunge. So breathing in, breathing out. One more breath. And then coming into downward facing dog. So really focus 5 breaths in for that first side. Imagine that you're breathing in grounded energy from the earth, from your right leg all the way up, all the way out through your left. Then recycle that up through your left, breathe in, all the way down and out through your right side. Both at the same time. And then we'll step the left leg forward between our hands. Drop to your right knee. Super easy, low lunge. So make it work for you. So whether you need to back up and ease in or just lifting the arms. Take as much opening to that whole front seam as you can. Softening the shoulders, the neck. Then releasing your hands behind you to clasp. I'm going to tuck my back toes under, press through left heel and right foot, and I'm going to seal the right foot flat and then open through the chest. Remember, you can grab a strap, or I can just have my arms back. I don't have to have it bound. But the shoulders move down the back, opening through your chest, right? That's the most important thing, is that the neck's not compromised and the chest is open. Stay strong in your legs as you hinge forward. Maybe it's just straight up and down. Or if you want to release the neck, just keep the chest open so you can get the back of the neck to stretch, perhaps. Keep working that left hip back so that your hips swing slightly to the right so you're staying strong in the legs. And then arms reach up, you're releasing your clasp. Pop the back heel up, and I'm going to step forward and I'm grabbing onto the outer edge of my foot, inner edge of my foot if I want, or both. So I showed you both last time. I'm going to keep the one arm to show. So I can just work this being a thigh stretch. Heel to the bum, thigh bone reaching down. Or if I want to kick foot into hand, I can, and I can get more of a dancer feel. Chest stays lifted, right shoulder reaches back. So keep going. All I can see is most of your legs. But I want you to feel that reach in your chest, and I can see that from your belly kind of lifting up towards the heart. You'll get lighter in your legs the more you do that. All right, so this is the choose your own adventure. It's either a high lunge step back, fingers forward, thumbs back, and I'm reaching those elbows back and down, or I'm coming into the low lunge with the back knee down and the chest lift. So I'm keeping the chest lift, just deepening the thigh stretch. Okay, so that's your 5 more breaths. Choose whatever serves you. Keep letting that neck relax. And then when you're ready, all the way back to downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to do 3 vinyasas to be like this purifying, cleansing effect. And when we do the vinyasas, you're going to choose any of those belly down back bends that we've done, locust, cobra, upward dog, whatever you want. And if you prefer not to do that, you can do cat-cow, okay? But I want you to do 3 cycles of your own choosing, right? Whenever you're ready, and that's your reset of the front body. So inhaling forward, you can even smile your collarbones. Exhale, knees down if you need. Cobra, and you go slower than me. You remember, you're choosing locust, whatever you want. Downward facing dog or all 4s. And you have 2 more cycles just like that, or whatever you're choosing. Really be intentional with your breath. And last cycle when you're ready. And then breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in, out through your mouth. Bend your knees for more length in the low back. Breathe in. And breathe out. You got it. All right, so we're going to move to the back body. So now opening, cleansing, clarifying the back of your body. So when you're ready, we're going to step the right leg forward. And we're going to step that left leg in. We're going to come to a halfway lift. So I'm going to have to move my right leg to the right if I need to get my hips more square, or adjust the turning of the left foot. So I'm going to decide if I want to keep my hands at my waist, if I want to place my hands at my shins or blocks, or if I want to fold over the right leg. So breathing into that right hamstring, finding the lift of the right low belly so that I can really widen through that right hamstring. So I don't want to prevent all shapes inside, all sides of the right hamstring. Keep your breath going. Let your head go. Bend your right knee and step into your right leg for a standing split. So I have to make sure that as I ground through my right inner thigh line, right, that I lift up through my left leg. So I'm not just laying my pelvis on the right thigh. So I can turn my left hip out as much as I need to unload the right hip. Let your head go. And then place both feet on the floor as wide as you need to in a forward fold. So I have lots of options. I can grab peace fingers around big toes. I can step on my hands with the toes lining up at the elbow, at the wrist crease. Or one of my favorites is I wrap my arms behind my calves and in front of my shins. And I'm going to bend the knees at first and then press the shin bones into my hands into my shin bones. And I may not completely straighten. This one just feels good to me. Remember, if your low back is tender, bend the knees as much as you need to, widen your feet as much as you need to. Big breath in, big breath out. Releasing your arms, rolling all the way up. And then sitting towards a baby squat. Just a baby squat. Left leg's gonna cross on top, squeezing inner thighs, toe to the floor or wraps behind, and then right arm on top. So I want you to feel back body opening. So I want you to round upper back, elbows point forward and up, shoulders down. I can let my chin go, and for further low back release, I can put the elbow on the thigh and really feel the tailbone lengthen. This is a nice little stretch, but might be too much. So if you'd rather just lengthen the low back and work upper back opening, please do that. A couple more really deep breaths into the back of your heart. And then for this reset, we're going to unwrap and come to a wide leg forward fold. So take your time hinging. And again, anything with the arms, you can grab onto the elbows, your arms can come forward. You grab onto toes or ankles. And so this is your reset. So take 5 deep breaths, really breathing and clarifying the back of the body. Really putting your awareness there as if you were like sweeping it or wiping it with a cleansing wipe, or like a cool, clarifying breeze moving through the back body. Turn towards your left leg or your right leg, either way. Step back to downward facing dog. Just a little quick reset here. Bend the knees, remember, child's pose if you need to. This is great ways to keep stretching the low back. And then left leg forward, then right leg turns out. I come to a halfway lift, and this is just a great place to kind of check out as my right hip turning to the right. If it is, I move to a wider stance. I can lengthen my stance. Generally, the fronts of the shoulders are kind of right over the ankle. So once I get the strength of my core, the strength of my back leg, I can decide if I want to stay here, hands on shins, or release down. So do make sure you pick up that left low belly and kind of allow it to lift up into the body so that you can really root from that left inner groin to your left inner ankle. Let your head go, sides of the neck lengthen, especially the back of the neck since we're working back body. And then bend left knee, lift the right, standing split. So you could balance if you want with one or both hands behind your calf. Remember to lift the pelvis and reach through the right foot so that you unload the left thigh bone so we don't get too heavy there. And then standing forward fold. You can go a little bit more narrow or a little wider. You could repeat the same hand position that you had, or you could choose something different. You can move or find stillness. Let your arms release down, bend those knees, and roll up really slowly, letting the head, neck, and shoulders relax. A little baby squat. So this time the left leg is your base. The right leg crosses like you're sitting cross-legged in a chair. And then the left arm is on top of the right. And if this doesn't work, remember hands can come together. So as the elbows lift up and point forward, shoulders drop down and my chin can relax. And I'm pressing the breath into the back of my body. If I'm one a little deeper, I'm going to sit far back like you're sitting in a chair. And then let the tailbone lengthen towards my heels. Big breaths, 2 more. Really let that intention work its magic in your body. Slowly unwrapping, stepping wide for your wide leg forward fold. So adjusting your feet to a neutral stance, sliding your hands down your thighs to whatever arm variation works. It's important to kind of notice where you're falling. So kind of noticing if you move your weight forward towards the toes or you rock it back, kind of like finding that balance point can be helpful. Don't forget the head, letting it be heavy, upper palate, releasing. And then walk towards either leg, doesn't matter which one, downward facing dog. 3 vinyasas of choice or cat-cow to cycle through. And again, so go ahead and start. With each cycle, it's like you're resetting, right? So cleansing, detoxing, letting it go. So it can be cat-cow, you can do locust, whatever you want. 3 times through your own pacing. Yeah. Working with the power of 3. And then when you're ready, downward facing dog. I'll wait for you there. So we got those hips to work next. So that's going to work with our side body. Side body. So when you're ready, the right leg's going to step forward. I'm going to use a block personally under my right hand. I'm going to do a side stretch here. So my right hand presses into the block, left armpit down, left hip forward, and I'm stretching. And I'm looking down so that my head can be heavy. Remember in that twist, we did a really good job breathing into the side body. So side of the lungs, so do that. Okay, take a quarter turn to face the back of your mat or the other side of your mat. And it's going to be in a side angle. So I'm going to let my arms sweep down and then over my head if you prefer that. You can do a half bind if you prefer that. Arms straight up if you want to be traditional. I'm just going to turn you guys so I'm not facing away from you. So side angle, as much as you can you feel that side body opening? Side body opening. So reaching through the whole side body from fingertips to toes. Okay, straighten that front leg. If you want to tip up and back to get that opposite side. If you want to keep the knee bent, you can. If you want to let the head relax into the left hand, I'm showing you that one too. And then kind of getting that underbelly stretch. Okay, cartwheel your hands down towards that left leg for a twist of choice. So that can be right knee down, left arm up. It could be a prayer twist. Anything you want. Any kind of twist, high lunge twist, open arm twist, right? There's so many ways to twist. So pick your favorite, right? Whatever's gonna feel so good right now. Okay, slide that left foot half the distance between your hand and your foot for a figure 4 side plank. So my foot's half the distance, my hips lift, and I can kind of play around with more pressure to that left foot to feel that hip stretch. And then let the left arm lower, let the right hip lower. So now I'm gonna face you guys. So you can get a, or maybe I'll show you the side profile. I'm on my right hip. I'm gonna grab onto my left hand, or my left shin with my left hand and curl in towards it. And the more I roll towards the outer edge of my hip, I'm gonna get more side body, more hip. If you're not getting anything and you're like, this just feels weird, come into your back for figure 4. That pose doesn't work for everybody. Okay, last deep breath in. Last deep breath out. So if you're in this lunge, you can either just kind of unhook and roll onto a seat, and then we're gonna roll onto our back for bridge pose. That's gonna be our reset for 5 breaths. So I can not do the back bend if I'm really wanting to stretch my low back, or I could stick a block here. 5 breaths. Can always straighten the legs if that gives me more of a low back stretch. Okay, when you're ready to come down, come down. I'm gonna come to downward facing dog, and we're gonna start our second side. So big breath in and out. Side body. So when your left leg is ready, step it forward. I have a block outside my left foot. If you have one available, side stretch to your left. Let that armpit get heavy so that you're not lifting up, but I'm rolling down and stretching. Outer left hip reaches back. Then turn to face the opposite side of the mat, and it's a side angle. And I gave you all those options, so arm overhead, half bind, arm straight up, anything that feels good. But feel from your foot all the way through your side body, that big opening. Reverse your warrior. Remember, you can straighten the leg, I can bend the knee. I'm using the hand on the head so I can get an extra little stretch, kind of right at that armpit, shoulder area, right where the lats attach. Okay, twist it out. So however you want to twist, high lunge twist, low lunge twist, knee down twist, prayer twist, so many twists. I know you guys know them by now, so your favorite. So your left hand's going to remain your base. I'm going to turn the other way just to show you. And I'm going to drag the right foot half the distance between my wrist and my ankle. And then I can feel a hip stretch the more I pull the right hip away from my right knee. I'm not here very long, just enough to kind of reorient the side body. And then put your right hand down and lower your left hip to the mat. So I can either just stay here and kind of drape the side body, shoulder will move up. Or I can kind of curl in towards my knee and lean into my hip. And you might lean in and back. Remember I said if this one's just too confusing for you and you're like, I don't know what she's doing and I don't feel anything, go here. Go to figure 4. That will also release your back. So it could be just a better choice in general. And then last deep breath in and out. And then just a couple breaths in bridge. So come down onto your back, lift your hips just to lengthen the low back. You want to stick that block. We're not here too long, but just that inversion to reset. And then you're going to go through your vinyasa flow 3 times. If you don't want to do the vinyasa with the chaturangas, cat-cow works 3 times. Maybe if you're doing the cat-cow, it's really slow. And you're really stretching your breath out to those 5 counts like we did in our initial breath work. Okay, we've got inner thighs, inner body for the last little bit. That groin stretch. So we're gonna stick that right foot out to the side. So I'm gonna face you. So the toes turn up. So my hips are not square. I'm gonna let the right hip turn back. I'm gonna let the toes come up. I prefer, if you would rather ground the foot, for me that hyperextends my knee, that's why I don't do it. So it's up to you. I'm gonna grab a block. And then I'm gonna side stretch and get that hamstring inner thigh. You can do a neck release if you prefer, since it's not so much about the side body, it is the groin. So if you prefer the neck release, try that. Slowly coming up, bringing your hands forward to tuck the left toes under, and then squatting back into Skandasana. So now I'm on the foot of my left foot. If I need to reset a bit, I can go back and forth a moment to kind of get it in the right angle. With my left hand, I'm just going to gently guide my left thigh wide. Just to, again, get that inner thigh work. Now, if that's too much for my knees, I'll put my feet down and do this. Go ahead and straighten both of your legs. Left hand will walk towards the right foot, and I'm going to twist, allowing the left foot to reach away from my pelvis. So I still should get a little groin. I can even bend the right knee for a further groin stretch. Okay, press into both of your heels, come up to standing, use the strength of your core, and then step in. Right leg is your base for tree. So I can keep it low, or I can grab the foot in my hand. I can use a wall for my knee. And then any arms that you feel today. So arms up, arms back, and reverse prayer can be nice and different sometimes. So as you feel that right inner thigh rooting down to the inner foot, can you feel that thigh meeting your foot as actively as your foot meets your thigh? Yeah, you guys look awesome. Nice work. Step back out. Doesn't matter which way you turn, just kind of pivot and release your hands back. Come to downward facing dog. Come to all fours. Come to child's pose. Let your head go. Any arms, as your arms can walk back, if that's more helpful for your low back. Okay, final flow. Come up to all fours. Step your left foot out to the side. Pop your toe up. Come to standing. And then a big side stretch if you're wanting to continue the side body, or you can do a neck release and just focus on the inner thigh. So it's okay for your right hip to turn forward and your left hip to kind of tuck under. Really, totally fine. In fact, it's better for the low back that way. Okay, slowly coming up. Coming forward enough to kind of allow yourself to tuck the right toes under and then walk on back. With my right hand, I move the right thigh and toes out. And if this is too much flexion for your knees, go ahead and flatten your foot as you turn your toes out, and I'll just Do the same exact thing, just a little bit higher off the ground. Keep reaching from that left inner pelvis to that left foot. And then straighten your legs and then walk your right arm towards the left foot as much as you can. Doesn't matter if it's all the way there and your left arm reaches up and you're gonna twist. Now I'm reaching from right pelvis to right foot. And I can bend the left knee to accentuate the oppositional forces. Okay, press into both heels, straighten your legs, come all the way up. And then right leg steps to meet the left for your tree pose. Left leg is your base. Anti-tree pose, arms. Remember, you can use support. So as vigorously as my foot's gonna push into my thigh wants to meet my foot. So kind of feel those two forces meet harmoniously. You got it, last 2 breaths. And then step it out. Just pivot towards either one of your legs, doesn't matter. Come to downward facing dog, your final 3 vinyasas, or cat-cow, or resting shape in which you, in 3 deep breaths, tell yourself, I am cleansing and rejuvenating, resetting my inner body, that inner thigh line. Side of the neck, all those things we can't even see through the inner body. And then knees down. When you're ready and finish with your 3, don't rush if you're not. Sit back. So final shape can be anything that you kind of just want to allow yourself to kind of finish with. So that could be an inversion if you want to go upside down to be your final, if you want 1 more hip or anything else, low back that's calling. Any of you that are having that low back, if you're at all close to a wall or anything you can put your feet on, this can be really rejuvenative for the low back. It's just to kind of have something to rest on, whether it be a couch that you can rest your calves on, or a chair. Even if you're outside, like if you had something like the rungs in between a fence would work, or a railing. So take about a minute to flow through any final shape that you want to do, right? Give yourself a boost. It can be some just isolated breath work. You want to balance equal counts in and out. If you have to discharge more energy, exhale longer. If you need to restore, breathe in longer than you exhale. Ever feels good. And sometimes stillness is good medicine too. Awesome, you guys. When you're finished with, don't rush, please. When you're finished with your final shape and you want to go ahead and make your way down on your back, go ahead and do that. So either letting your legs extend out, or you might bend the knees and have the feet flat. Go ahead and just kind of get into a comfortable position and do a little bit of breath work and imagery before we rest. And we're going to go through the layers of the body called the koshas, which are just the layers that make up our awareness of who we are and our bodies and energy layers. So we're just going to go through and just do a little kind of intentional reset. So your job is just to kind of visualize whatever you can, put your intention out there, and most importantly, breathe. So take a moment to find awareness of your physical body. All of the layers that we just opened, from the side body to the inner thigh, the front body, the back body, this is your physical layer. And imagine any old stagnant energy Being able to just, through your awareness, through your intention, being able to be released. And with your next breath in, rejuvenating and restoring your physical body. So take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. And so it is. And this next one is your pranic body. That's how we take the breath in, right? The energy body. So imagining that any old energy or energy that doesn't serve your highest good, being able to be transmuted and changed and released. On the exhale, on your next inhale, you're bringing in the prana that you need to be your best self. So deep breath in, deep breath out. And so it is. And the next is our mental body. So think about thoughts, ideas. And I want you to imagine with your next exhale that limiting thoughts, negative thoughts, worrisome thoughts, unproductive thoughts could just be tossed out. And on your next inhale, the thoughts that move you forward, that are truth thoughts, can come in and align with your soul. So breathe in. Breathe out. So it is. Emotional body. So those any old emotions, stuck emotions that tie us to the past, or anything that's unprocessed that's ready to be processed. And with our next exhale, we just clarify the emotional body. And on the next inhale, we rejuvenate the emotional body, putting us in touch with our intuitive wisdom. So breathe in. Breathe out. And so it is. And now just connect into the deepest layer of our body, that wisdom layer, that sheath of the body that holds our truth, our wisdom, our knowingness, our connection, that all that is. And in that next breath in, you're connecting to that. And on the breath out, so it is. And then just relax and let yourself be. May you be healthy. May you be as vibrant as you possibly can be. May you know joy and laughter. May you feel happy and free. May you know your connection to all living things, to the essence of life, the wisdom and intelligence of the universe. May you feel worthy and loved exactly as you are. May you always feel at home in yourself. And may your soul and your identity always know one another. In harmonious partnership. When you feel ready to move again, if you feel ready, wiggle fingers and toes, activating all these intentions, this blessing, your higher intelligence. And then if you want to come to a seat, come to a seat. And then rub your hands together. Take a deep breath in. full of prana, of wisdom, of life, of joy, of essence of who you are. Blow it into your hands. On your next inhale, send it up. And on the exhale, blow it out. Yeah. Awesome, you guys. Thank you so much for practicing. The light in me honors and loves the light in each one of you so much. Thank you so much for showing up today.